The impact of the Peace Education Programme across the world is expanding and is now available in over 80 countries and 40 languages. More than 300,000 people have already participated, and in recent years, demand has been growing exponentially. The largest sector for the programme is now education in universities and high schools. Many run under the endorsement and encouragement of governments. Other sectors where the programme has proven effective include corrections, probation and parole, health and wellness, senior centres, youth groups, drug rehabilitation, law enforcement and a range of other community settings. More and more governments are waking up to the benefits of the Peace Education Programme with official endorsement and accreditation now for the programme in several countries. The effort is truly global thanks to the hundreds of volunteers who have made this possible. The history of the Peace Programme dates back to 2009, when videos were introduced at correctional facilities. Needing a structure and curriculum, soon themes were identified, and by 2012, the first programme was ready. Now there are 5 courses and a wealth of profound results. Crime and imprisonment are a huge financial and human burden on society. The costs of crime and prisons are a terrible waste of resources and cause of human suffering. Yet, because of the success of this programme, 5 prisons in India are now closed. A truly remarkable story. In Cusco, Peru, where bullying and violence are prevalent in high schools, the Peace Education Programme has become tremendously popular among students and teachers who are using it to cultivate a new culture of dignity and respect. Many of the police officers who work in the schools there have also embraced the course, praising it as a resource to help them become better peacekeepers. Through partnerships in Brazil, the Peace Education Programme is now offered in 21 penitentiaries every weekday in the state of São Paulo. Brazilian people who are homeless are also finding new hope after going through the programme. One such participant said, "I am a computer technician and I was living on the street without resources. I didn't know where I was or how I got there. The programme made me see and understand myself and how to go back to being a human being, to rescue my humanity." Likewise, refugees residing in Brazil report that the programme is helping them find the inner strength needed to make a new start and reintegrate into society. In Ghana, West Africa, several thousand high school students have reported the life-changing benefits of learning the importance of choice, hope, and inner strength. Teachers like it so much there that the only challenge seems to be keeping up with their requests for more course materials. When asked in a survey how the Peace Education Programme could be improved, most Ghanaian high school participants responded by calling for the course to be expanded across all schools in the country. It is fascinating to hear about how new countries are opening up to the possibility of the Peace Education Programme across the world. The continued efforts of the Prem Rawat Foundation representing the programme at conferences and cultivating understanding with key stakeholders has proven to be very effective in opening up new possibilities. One such example has been Zimbabwe. The Commissioner General of Zimbabwe, the head of the entire correctional system in the country, discovered the potential of the Peace Education Programme from the Prem Rawat Foundation's volunteers at a conference held in Buenos Aires. Those relationships helped pave the way for implementing the Peace Education Programme in correctional facilities in Zimbabwe, which led the Commissioner General to invite Prem Rawat to Harare Central Prison to speak to both inmates and officers. Prem Rawat regularly meets with participants in the programme across the world, and this visit in May of 2022 was his first trip to Zimbabwe. Here's an excerpt of the visit.
We are gathered here, ladies and gentlemen, for the reinforcement and development of peace education in Zimbabwe prisons and correctional service.
Today, we are gathered here to witness the strengthening and cementing of the peace education programs. This is all happening courtesy of the founder of the Peace Education Program, Mr. Prem Rawat and his foundation. I am pleased to assume that the extension of peace education within our institutions has seen the transformation of lives, especially those who were treated as high-risk inmates. Similarly, some members of staff have also participated in the peace education program.
Tichakwazisana moroi makadeni zenyuo neuzungwa asinenyasha moroi tasangana.
Ndinoda ini baba vangu ini ndoda kupanana na Abrahama wakaita sungano nemi hasina mwana aingokudai ndinoda baba kupanana na Abrahama wakaita sungano baba hasina mwana aingokudai ndinoda baba kupanana na Abrahama wakaita sungano Asnamana, wendo kudutenda kusina mababa zako kangofanana ndinoda
Ladies and gentlemen, we have in our midst an ambassador of peace. Today we have the ambassador's first visit to Zimbabwe to help and develop a peaceful and resilient society. Please welcome to the podium Ambassador Prem Rawat. A round of applause, ladies and gentlemen.
Permanent Secretary, Commissioner General, Assistant Commissioner General, officers, ladies and gentlemen. It's my pleasure to be here today to talk to you. Maybe something I say will make sense to you, change something for the better in you, make your life a little bit easier. Maybe you will be filled a little bit more with peace. So, how do you begin with the subject of peace? Is the subject of peace a complicated subject? Is the subject of peace an easy subject? Now, people have been talking about peace for a very long time. But one thing is very obvious, we don't have peace. We have a lot of people saying the word peace, but we don't have peace. In communities, in homes, in countries, in the minds of people, we don't have peace. But most importantly, we also misunderstand what peace means. We think peace is absence of war. That's not peace, that's just absence of war. Two people are not fighting. That doesn't mean that there is peace, it just means that they are not fighting. Because at any moment, they can begin to fight, and they do. People say people will not fight if there was plenty of food. Well, there is plenty of food, but people still fight. Right now, there is a war going on in Ukraine. How can that be? How can there be so much inequality? How can there be so much misunderstanding about human beings? There is a misunderstanding about human beings. We really don't know what a human being is. We know where the moon is. We don't know what a human being is. Long time ago, Socrates said, "Know thyself." Why? Why does he need to say, "Know thyself"? Because we don't know who we are. Peace begins with understanding who you are. What tools are already in you? What do you already have? Do you know that the peace you are looking for is already inside of you? You don't have to bring it from somewhere. It doesn't come from a well. It doesn't come from a tree. It's already inside of you. Now, when I say that, that is already inside of you, do you believe me? Do you believe me? What if I told you I don't want you to believe me? What if I told you don't believe me? That's why I'm here. I don't want you to believe me. I want you to know for yourself that peace is inside of you. That's the difference I have. Other people want other people to believe. You are thirsty. You say, "How do I get water?" They say, "Well, I will go drink water from that well and I'll tell you if there is water in that well." And you go, "Well, how's that going to help me?" Right? Because your thirst will only go away when you drink the water. Not somebody else drink the water for you. Same thing with peace. Same thing, somebody else can be good, I don't have to be good. No, you have to be good. You find yourself in a prison system, and I am sure that when you first came into the prison system, you were angry. You weren't happy. It's like, "Yeah, I made it." No, you were angry. Who were you angry at? You were angry at the government. You were angry at the rules. You were angry with your family. You were angry with your friend. You were angry with police. You were angry with everybody but you. You blame everybody but you. You cannot change the government. You cannot change your friends. You cannot change other people, but I have good news. You can change you. And change doesn't happen till you see the need for change. Change is not automatic. You know you get angry, right? But do you know you can also be kind? Do you know you can be kind? And who should you be kind to? This is what we overlook every single time. Society tells us, be kind to everybody else. I tell you, start with you. Be kind to you. So my friends, know who you are. You have the power to change. Nobody needs to bring in the power to change. You have the power to change. You have the power to see what is good. But it has to be all about you. And that is the reason why peace education program works, because it places you at the center, not anything else. You just don't know it. And you dream of being this, and you dream of being that. But that's not what's going to do it. What's going to do it is you realizing and recognizing who you truly are. So, with that, I hope I've given you a few tools to see a little bit more clearly. Changes don't happen in big increments. Changes happen little by little, by little, by little, by little. That's called transformation. So that's what my presentation about peace is, and the tools to help you along this path. Thank you very much.
Well, it's very unbelievable that we have this debate in our country. Saka mukudzidza takaita ma-programs edu tiri pano ndakadzidza zvakawanda. I was a person who was living my life in a bitterness, in a anger, nemamwe ma-circumstances andikasangana nawo mukurarama kwangu. Saka pa 3-day workshop yatakaita ndakadzidza zvakawanda pamusoro pe-peace, kuti peace is within me. I also learned about choice, that I've got the power to choose what's right for my life, the right path to move in with. So we just want to say we love you, Mr. Prem Reward. Africa loves you. Thumbs up for you. Mwah.
Mr. Prem Reward, as a peace education facilitator, I also want to testify how I have been helped by this program and how I have seen it impacting the lives of those who are in incarceration. I now know who I am. I now know my purpose, the purpose of transforming the individuals, the purpose of giving out that correctional towards the reformation, towards humanity. Even the way I relate now with the inmates, I take them as human beings, not as prisoners. I say thank you guys for the way you are responding to this program. Thank you, Prem Reward Foundation.
That to me is amazing, because human beings making an effort towards recognizing each other as human beings. That is it. If human beings started to recognize others as human beings, you think there would be a war in Ukraine? It would not be happening. You think there would be people dying of hunger? No. You know, there is no appreciation of human beings. So thank you very much, and what you said was just very, very nice. Thank you. Very uplifting.
In prison, I could not easily befriend people. Then came the Prem Reward Foundation, working hand in hand with the correctional rehabilitation officers who brought to our doorstep the peace education program. I now understand what I'm about. And again, reflecting on the module titled Self-Awareness, I understood that my happiness actually had nothing to do with my circumstances. Then I chose to be happy. My mind was telling me to be angry, but I chose to be, to forgive. So currently say, Prem Rawat, I respect you, and I thank you so much. Because I render myself to be the happiest man in the world at the moment in time. Because I may be physically imprisoned, but I'm not mentally incarcerated. I'm a free man. I thank you.
In Zimbabwe, we've got a saying to say, peace begins with me, peace begins with you. But today I learned that peace is within me. It's actually within me. I don't have to look for peace anywhere outside my being. Today, we are honored as a nation in celebrating these historic events where we are hosting the globally renowned Ambassador of Peace and founder of Peace Education, Mr. Prem Rawat. Once again, we welcome you to the Zimbabwe Prisons and Correctional Services. We also welcome you to Zimbabwe.
Thank you.
Yes. The PEP has come at a time when the ZPCS has put more emphasis on correctional work through synthesizing peace education as part of rehabilitation, which in turn underpins the reformative scheme, especially during these trying times. The success of the peace education program in the ZPCS becomes a great milestone, given that this dovetails the service mission of becoming the leading correctional service provider in the region and beyond. With this in mind, allow me, ladies and gentlemen, to express my gratitude to the founder of the Peace Education Program, Mr. Prem Rawat, for remembering this disadvantaged group of people, and also for recognizing that peace lies within us all, no matter our circumstances. And we hope that this program will be extended to all our prisons and to all our inmates and all categories respectively. So in concluding my remarks, allow me, ladies and gentlemen, to say that peace is possible because we are alive, and also peace is inside us, and peace is a fundamental human need. Let us not wait for tomorrow, because tomorrow never comes. So I've learned. Thank you very much.
We're lost. Why? Everything we look for on the outside. The goodness outside. You will never find it. And that's what people are looking for, peace on the outside. They don't want personal peace, they want world peace. And I tell them, world doesn't need peace. The crows are perfectly happy. The squirrels are perfectly happy. Mangoes are perfectly happy. And if there is somebody that is bothering the crows and the squirrel and the mango, it's you, us. Nobody else, nothing else. You need peace. But do you understand that necessity? Do you understand this need that you have to be in that part of yourself that is good, that is beautiful, by nature, by design? by the very fact that yes, light is the opposite of darkness. Understand this relationship between darkness and light, and you will understand a lot in your life. Believe me. Believe me. I started talking about peace when I was 4 years old. At 9 years of age, my father passed away, and I took over the responsibility of taking this message around the world. Since then, I have been doing this. I have taught people when I was young. People used to come to me, and they would ask me these questions. And I would give them an answer. What I felt, what I understood, what I tell you today is so that you can benefit in your life. That this life that you have is the most precious thing there is. Nothing will be more precious than this life that you have. The tragedy is to have this life and not know it. To have the wealth and not recognize it. To have the divine and never find it. That's a tragedy. That's a tragedy. Looking for what you always had and you never found it. Because you didn't need to look. You needed to discover. You have these eyes. These eyes see everybody else's eyes, don't they? But do they see themselves? These eyes can see everybody else's face, but not yours. How come? But if you have a mirror, then these eyes can see you too. Then these eyes can see themselves as well. And this begins with understanding that when you are in that darkness, when you are in that pain, when you are in that suffering, understand something. That joy, happiness, that beauty, that light is not far from you.